The history of the Philippines is a history of violent uprising that concerned land. For 400 years, the Philippines was under the Spanish colonial administration, and in 1898, when the Spaniards left the Philippines, shortly thereafter, the American colonial administration took over. But the land issue has not been properly settled because while there were attempts to distribute land, the landed gentry continued to hold off the highest offices of the land, from the presidency to Senate to Congress. And so it was clear that the political and the business elite were at the same time the landowners controlling land in the Philippines. In 1987, shortly after Corazon Aquino ascended to the presidency, 13 farmers were massacred in what now is called the Menjola Massacre, when several farmers marched towards Malacanang demanding for the land to till their own land. And the massacre led to a landmark decision of implementing what is now known as the Comprehensive Agrarian Reform Law of the Philippines, or CARL, in 1988. In 1988, when this was signed into law, it had a 20-year period of effectivity. However, in this year, June this year, the 20-year-old law had already lapsed, and only extensions were granted by Congress. So the last extension was to have ended on December 31 this year. And because of the lobbying of several farmers who marched, who ran, who had hunger strikes in Manila, this law would have already died effectively this December 31. However, the law that has been extended to another 6-month term does not hold on any water, because over the years, the landlords have known how to go around the law. For example, to get around the law, a farmer would resort to what you call the stock distribution option, or the SDO, where a farmer does not get land but is considered a stockholder of a corporation with shares of stock, and where dividends are declared and profits would be shared at the end of the year. The farmers never receive a share of the dividends. The stocks and the profits are declared, but the profits are never shared. So the SDO is just a piece of paper, and farmers never get any share of it, nor any of the land. Second, the landowners would use this clause within the law that says that if land is industrial and commercial in nature, then it cannot be subjected to land reform. So a lot of landlords would convert their land into agricultural, into commercial and industrial, so that it can be exempted from land reform. So many agricultural lands have already been converted in order to be exempted, when in fact these lands remain agricultural and has no commercial or agricultural activity taking place in them. Third, there is a big problem because the budget allocation for land reform is not being passed by government. And since the majority of those who control Congress are landlords, the budget that is necessary for the acquisition of land, for the distribution of land, is never passed. And only a very measly budget is released every year, so that only a very limited number or amount of land is covered and distributed to farmers. And fourth, repeatedly, those in Congress and those in Senate who own land would use political clout in order to block the implementation of land reform in their areas. They always have a way of influencing the president to stop the implementation of land reform in their areas. And fifth, unfortunately, even the laws, even the courts are controlled by those in power. Legal abuse is constantly employed by the landlords, who would charge the farmers with trespassing, robbery, in order to criminalize them and make it impossible for them to have access to land. And six, all over the Philippines, the landlords have employed blue guards, paid guards, and posted them in the periphery of their land, so that if farmers would try to get access into their land, they will be shot at. And so a lot of farmers have already died because of this kind of methodology. So what is the future of land reform in the Philippines? Unless we change the political structure where the Congress and Senate and all the way to the presidency becomes pro-poor and not belonging to the landed class, land reform does not have any future in the Philippines. We must change not only the law, the social structure must also change.